Hi, my name is Doug, and I'm the Director of Training for Coro. I've been asked to talk to you about some tips for lean IT teams. One of the challenges that lean IT teams have is that there simply aren't enough people, there's not enough budget, and there's not enough time to be able to achieve the goals that you're looking to do within the organization. So when we talk about tips for these smaller businesses and these smaller organizations that are running lean by necessity, the first thing any team has to do is they have to prioritize the IT function with the business goals of the organization. This can be challenging because of the resource constraints as well as the technology constraints, but at the end of the day, IT is there to support the business. To be able to do that effectively, we need to be able to streamline processes. So anything that you can do to automate these functions, be able to take advantage of AI automation within the software itself, being able to do automated patch management, for instance. Things that normally would be done by an individual, but can't be because you're running lean, can be done by machines, essentially. And the more that you can implement those type of best practices, the easier you're gonna have it. And you'll be able to take care of more of the tasks and let you focus more on the business functions of what IT can do for organizations. We would also promote a lot of cross-training because you don't have a lot of people on your team to be able to do individual tasks. If one person can do more than one, that becomes a much more efficient way to be able to run your infrastructure. So that cross-training becomes important. Not only that, but if somebody were to call in sick or somebody were to not be there for whatever reason, you were to lose someone on that team, another individual would be able to pick up the slack relatively easily because they would have been trained in those disciplines. Being able to have security awareness is also a critical component of this. Because hackers disproportionately attack smaller businesses and leaner IT teams, it becomes even more important for these organizations to be hyper aware of security best practices within their organizations, because security best practices have a tendency to be expensive and they have a tendency to be very high maintenance. Being able to find things that can consolidate your security best practices into something that's easier to use, a bit more flexible, becomes important. And on top of that, making sure that your employees are also trained in security best practices, such as phishing email testing and easy things like that. Just reminders for the team to make sure that they're doing all the right things. Documenting your processes also becomes critical, because in smaller teams, you don't have the luxury of a bunch of people holding a bunch of knowledge. So being able to document the processes that you have so that if somebody were to leave or a change were to happen within your team that makes it even leaner, you'd have documented processes in place to be able to follow easily that will make the organization more efficient in terms of running the things that they need to. Having solutions that are built that have the easy ability to be able to scale is also critical. If you were to grow as a business, whether organically or you were to merge with another organization or you were going to acquire another organization, being able to get those new employees up to speed very quickly on all of the assets that IT needs to give them is going to be very important. You need to get them up on the systems, the software, their laptops, all their credentials, all these type of things, which can also be automated. So being able to scale very quickly becomes important. And then once again, you're not wasting time trying to put out fires, and you're spending more of your time trying to enable the business goals through IT function. And then lastly, I would say continuous learning. When you're running a lean IT team, you need to learn new skills. You need to learn more about security, more about networking, more about remote desktop access, virtual machines. All of these type of things become critically important. And this continuous learning is going to allow you to be more efficient at your job and allow your lean IT team to be more effective across the board for the entire organization. An option that many lean IT teams take is to outsource IT functions in a number of different areas. This provides an easy way to be able to offload a lot of the really critical IT tasks that are necessary within an organization. And when you're running lean and you just don't have enough people to do it, outsourcing these things make a lot of sense. One of the more important things you can outsource is your cybersecurity best practices. Coro Cybersecurity has a SOC team where we will do the work for you. We will be able to manage a integrated cybersecurity modular best practice platform that will allow you to be able to experience cybersecurity best practices without you having to lift a finger. Please visit coro.net for more information.